like Blue Slide. I'll put Swimming over
Blue Slide Park. But Blue Slide Park was like the one that where he stamped his, basically on his debut album, bro, he stamped his legacy in the game. Because he was the first, I believe he was the first independent artist to debut, for his debut album to debut at number 1 on the Billboard 200 since like 96. And I think he was the first solo artist, because the one that did in 96 was whatchamacallit, Snoop Dogg and them Dog Pound album. So that was a compilation joint.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Hey. Oh my God.
Fellas, how we doing today?
Shit, we looking good, man. This is a beautiful, cold, brisk day.
Buffalo weather, man, blowing mine.
Yeah, man. It's you know what I mean? We get through it, you know what I mean? We built for it.
No Label the Pod, episode 8.
Yes, sir.
Price, how you feeling, man?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. How you feeling?
I'm alright, man. You know, just hanging in there. Was bumping his Mac album this weekend. RIP to my guy.
RIP.
And happy, his birthday is Saturday, right? Or today, one of those.
I think today.
So happy 28th to Mac, man.
Happy birthday.
So album is Circles, which is, I believe, the sequel to Swimming. So Swimming in Circles. What'd y'all think of it?
I rocked with it.
When I first heard it, I was like, I just couldn't listen to it.
Bro,
Yeah,
so
bro,
sad.
it was kind
I
of
wasn't
cringy.
in the mood to get sad.
I heard the first
It was
album,
definitely
like,
cringy, man.
I'm like getting choked up. I'm like, nah. I turned it off. I didn't even listen to it the first time. It's like, I had to come back to it. Came back to it, I'm like, yeah, this is pretty good.
I actually love the album, but like it's just certain lines in there where he's like, he basically was kind of like manifesting his death, kind of. You know what I mean? That's how, like, certain lines where he says, like, I'm trying to think of one specifically. Yeah, it'll come to me later. But
I heard a couple of them though. I know what you're talking about. But one thing about Mac though is like, that's one thing I loved about his music. Like, he would talk about that like on like Macadelic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Faces
like,
too, Faces.
Yeah, he was willing to always like ask those questions and like just always question death and what's after and stuff like that. Like, that's what made me like, okay. Cause like when I first listened to Mac, I didn't really fuck with him, like Nike's on my feet and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But actually got older and like matured, I was like,
Yeah, his music definitely grew.
Yeah,
like he's nowhere near the same artist he was when he first came out with like
absolutely.
Blue Slide Park and Best Day Ever. Like his
Faces
whole
is
swamp.
my favorite Mac project.
Yeah, I
ever.
love Faces too.
But crazy part is that's when he's rapping about the most drugs he's on, which is nuts. I was thinking about that.
I wish that would have been an album. The features on there too.
That's crazy.
He had Ross on there, Vince.
Yeah, Schoolboy. Well, he had a little Schoolboy on there.
Yeah, they had a close relationship.
Yeah, dog. I said like, with Mac was like what's so special about him was like his transformation from like backpack school lunch table rapper.
Yeah.
To
introspective.
Like, to an introspective like full musician. Like, I learned how to play instruments. Like
producing his own tracks, producing for other people. He produced one of the first Vince Staples tapes I heard, because I'm a big Vince fan, was entirely produced by Mac, aka Larry Fisherman, Stolen Youth.
Stolen Youth, yeah, that was his first. I don't think that was his first mixtape.
Yeah,
man, it just hurt.
Yeah, he definitely brought. He kept the art into it. That's why I always like uphold him more than like it's beyond color at that point. It's like when you genuinely care about the art, like
that's my
high on my list.
I remember at Hush Tech when everybody first was kind of on the Mac wave, I used to argue with a lot of like my white homies in my homeroom, because it was that time where it was like MGK or Mac. You know what I mean? Like when MGK came out with Wild Boy,
I was always
he had Flocka on it.
Yeah, I was like,
and he had that. I forgot what the tape was called. It was Rage something, but like a lot of people was on like the MGK wave, and I used to be arguing with people in my class like, bruh, he has one record, bruh. Mac has Blue Slide Park, Best Day Ever. Like he's doing numbers. His music is like way deeper, all that. But I mean, people saw the light eventually because MGK is run.
Yeah, he ran his course.
Yeah, I mean he's doing good right now, but
he got signed to Bad Boy.
Yeah, I don't think he's still signing him, is he? Really?
The shit he just dropped. The last song I heard from him was like him and Trippie Redd. That shit kind of hard.
Okay.
Yeah, that shit was kind of hard. But
it was on a Trippie album.
No, it was on his. But it was like crazy, like the content wise. It was like he was talking about like popping pills, and it was like the video like him passing out pills to kids and shit. Like it was wow, bro. I swear, I was like, what?
I'm dead.
I'm like, okay, Diddy, I see who you supporting. Like, you didn't say less.
But yeah, cause I remember that phase was going on. I've been a diehard Big Mac fan since then. I'm not gonna say diehard. My fandom grew over the years, but at that time, like I was on the Mac Miller wave definitely. Cause I was a big Nas fan then too. And then when I heard him use the Nikes on my feet sample on the Nikes on my feet song, I'm like, I could rock with the white boy, man.
Word. Well, I got a question too. Like you was talking about that era with when you choosing between MGK and Mac Miller. I remember I was in Cleveland when that MGK first started popping off. Mm-hmm. So everybody in Cleveland talking about MGK.
Oh yeah, he is from Cleveland.
Yeah, he's from Shaker. So what's the name? I remember coming home during like during breaks and shit, and I noticed that's when kids started like the pill popping era started like beginning, like at least in like from my grade, like was that. Do you remember, was they popping pills like when you around when you was in high school and shit?
Nah, not that I can remember. I mean, it was definitely rapped about. I don't think it was more so the pill popping. I just remember the Molly wave was starting heavy.
Oh yeah.
And maybe he was doing X, but I wasn't really hearing about like Xans and Percocets and all that in high school.
No, because I remember I came home one day from I went to the Gloria J where the niggas would be hooping at. Yeah. I was hearing the one dude's conversation. I was like, yeah, man, we went to a party, popped a couple beans, and da-da-da-da. I'm like, beans? Beans? I was like, black people, we do that now? Like, what? I'm just like...
Whatever's cool, that's what people do. You already know that.
Yeah.
Shit, especially in high school, people really just doing shit to fit in.
Yeah,
for real. I already know how that goes. Don't nobody really know their true self, man. They're trying to figure shit out.
Hell yeah.
Shit, same with Mac, man. Cause like he was... like in the same age range as us. Obviously he was older, but like he always had like that kid image though. Yeah. So he seemed a lot younger than what he really was. Yeah. So it was kind of like we were growing up with him and growing with his music as he was growing as well, like figuring it out.
Yeah, we literally watched him grow up.
Yeah.
Remember he had the MTV show?
Bro, that's when I really became a big fan because I'm like, yo, he really just some like funny, cool, like he's like one of us, bro. Yeah. He's just hella artistic and talented and knows how to express it.
Yeah, looking at that now, like he pushed a big way for like I don't want to say suburban like rappers, like I don't say SoundCloud rappers, but like that he kind of started putting the fun back in the music. Yeah. Like, because I remember when I say because that was like around Chief Keef, like was that 09?
Nah, Chief wasn't until like 12, 13, like junior year of high school, my junior year.
Yo, I remember them like Chief being popping when I was in high school. Like when his first song came out.
Don't like, because Don't Like didn't come out until definitely junior year. Love Sosa didn't come out till like senior year in high school, probably. Bro.
Nah, I remember. Because I think when I was at Tech.
Because I remember Don't Like came out, I think 2012.
I'm about to look right now.
So that was probably around my junior year.
Because I remember people started growing their hair, and people like because Mark Nelson started growing his hair. Mark started growing his hair.
Oh yeah, Glock.
Yeah.
But I think people really started growing their hair during the Flocka wave.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what really started it. Because everybody wanted to shake their dreads like Flock. And then, you had the Backpackers who was big fans of Wale. Wale had the dreads. But I'll definitely, I'm putting 100% faith in that Love Sosa came out 2013.
Yeah, you would know.
Because that's how I was bumping.
It says the official release was late 2012.
Love Sosa?
Yeah. But I feel like
it might have been 2012, but it was definitely my senior year though. It came out my senior year, so you wasn't at Tech anymore.
Bro, I remember that time vividly. I remember wow.
Because I remember we used to always have. I remember Rose and like mad other people would argue about a certain line in the Love Sosa song. I think it was either he said "Oh and I know it" or "Oh and or no and." You remember that line? So everybody used to argue about that, and I was definitely senior year. That was an engineering class. Come on, man. I got the facts, man. That was my era.
Well, I remember when like that drill shit started getting heavy, and it's like creating a lane. It was like, cause gangster rap was the code, a whole era, and then it's like more friendlier. I don't say friendlier, but like not as serious like rap shit started coming.
More shit that's relatable to everybody versus just a community of people.
Facts.
Or people that are from that certain struggle.
Yeah, I say Mac definitely like he definitely played a part in that.
So outside of the cringeworthy things on there, because obviously his death, him speaking about death, what y'all think of it, just musically?
Yo, Woods, that song Woods on there is my favorite joint.
Really?
Yeah. When I heard that, I was like, man.
It was like, I'm trying to think, like hands down Woods I was fucking with. I think I Can See.
You was like on Woods too?
Yeah, I like Hands Down a lot.
Yeah, I fucking Hands Down.
I liked Blue World. I liked, because he was in his rap bag on there, so I was rocking with that heavy. And I believe the last track. Those are
Complicated was wavy too.
Yeah, I like Complicated. So yeah, I would say my 3 would be Blue World, Once a Day, and Woods.
Yeah, man, you just know how to create that vibe, man.
I wonder if he had like the whole thing planned out.
I'm sure he did, cause like, I'm sure he made a lot of music.
Yeah, because it was
quiet for a while.
Yeah, because it was the sequel to Swimming. So the producer who he collabed with on Swimming was, I believe, John Byron or something like that. I think it might be his manager too as well. Yeah, so he brought him on board to do most of the production on Swimming, and then they just went right into creating Circles. That's why it's the sequel, Swimming in Circles. That's why the sounds are very similar. I personally, no funny shit, I kind of like this better than Swimming.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I have to listen to this a few more times.
Cause Swimming, I like Swimming, but it was different from, like, it was another chapter or a different sound from him. And I don't think I listened to Swimming enough to really get used to that sound. But now since I've listened to this after Swimming, I'm used to the sound, so I was more receptive to it.
Yeah, I have to give it more time. I can't say that just yet. I fuck with Swimming, but bro, it's Mac definitely knows how to create that vibe and just like put you in that mood to like, mellow as hell.
And then like his lines now, just looking back, everything makes more sense now that like, you know what I mean, he's not with us and it's just what he was going through.
Yeah, I always had an issue with like the albums that come out after people like pass, because it's like, man, is it really what they wanted it to sound like? Like I always kind of like get in my head with situations like that, and it's like, man, would it sound different? And just like, would they want this? And it's hard for me to like get that full enjoyment of it.
Yeah, I definitely feel like he wanted this to be released though.
Yeah.
Because basically, like I said, it was a sequel to Swimming, so he had plans on releasing this. He worked with the same producer, his manager, his family was on board with putting it out. And I was watching one of Rob Markman's videos on Genius, and he was saying that he was actually at the listening party for the album back in October. So it's been plans to drop this for a while.
Gotcha.
So that's why I felt more comfortable listening to it and really enjoying it, knowing that he would want us to hear it, and it wasn't just like how I felt X's last album was. Was it Bad Vibes Forever?
Yeah. I listened to that one, and that one wasn't that good.
Yeah, I didn't even listen to it.
Yeah, I listened to like the first half of it. It was just like, it was lackluster. You could hear that it was like some of his ideas, but not like full songs yet. Yeah. And it's like, nah.
They was kind of piecing together stuff.
Yeah, it was like, nah, he wouldn't want it to sound like this.
Circles, man. Where would y'all rank this in his discography? Just off of, a couple listens, we haven't been able to live with it that long.
Man. Pretty high.
Yeah, me too. Alright, are we going are we just doing albums and mixtapes?
Yeah, if we do income mixtapes, it might be like 4. I was just about to say 4. Yeah.
Behind what?
Faces for sure.
Faces.
Yeah.
Watching movies with the...
Most definitely.
Shit, I might have to put this 5. Cause I liked Divine Feminine and Macadelic was fire.
I didn't like the Divine Feminine.
I only listened
much.
to Divine Feminine once.
Bro, I like the Divine Feminine. That shit get you in your...
That's it, yo.
Get you in your bag.
I feel like this tape, bro, this feels like it could have been like a Mac and Anderson .Paak collab. Bro, I could really, every song here, I could imagine Pac on, bro.
Yo, I wish I had more Anderson .Paak and Mac collabs.
Yeah, that's the vibe that I caught from here, definitely.
Yeah,
Mac and Pac, that should have been fire.
The Mac Pack?
The Mac Pac?
That would have been fire.
Yo.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but like, I remember I worked at National Fuel. I used to have to walk like a mile and a half every day to work. And it was just like, I used to listen to Divine Feminine every day on the way to work. And I remember when he passed away, I was so fucked up. I was at school, I'm like, yo, why do I feel like this? And I'm like, damn, like, yo, because I used to really listen to that every day.
Yeah, bro.
That shit was rattling.
Like 2 months, bro.
And then especially watching like his show too and seeing his other side, his personality, watching his interviews all the time. Yeah. It's just like, you lost one of the homies, man.
Yeah. Did you ever go to Tom Baldwin when he came to Tom Baldwin?
Nah.
Yeah, I was so hot, bro, because I missed it.
Hold on, when did he come?
This is when he dropped like Good AM.
Oh, so this was like 4 or 5 years
13,
ago.
It might have been 14.
Yeah, because he dropped Good AM my sophomore year in college, I think.
13. Yeah,
it might have been 14, 15, yeah.
Yeah, because he came, it was him, because I wanted to see Earth Gang, because Earth Gang was opening for him.
I didn't even know about them back then.
Yeah, Earth Gang was opening for him, and them, and Mac. I'm like, oh, they gonna be here? I was broke, and I'm like, no, I was like, he gonna be back. I ain't worried about it, because he always come to this town ballroom, blah, blah, blah. I'm like...
That was the last time he came?
Last time he came,
yeah,
bro.
Man.
And he took that long ass hiatus too. So I was just like, damn. I'm like, damn. When this dude gonna stop? So I can go see him. And he never.
He's definitely somebody I wish I'd been able to see. Him and Nip, bro. Yeah. I always wanted to go to it. I never even really knew how the Nip concert experience was, or like what type of performer he was. But it was just like I rocked with him and his music so heavy. No matter what, I knew I would have a good ass time just being there. Yeah. So I always wanted to go to a Nip concert, a Mac concert.
For sure, man. Cause he would always use live instrumentation, all that. Like his shows would actually be a real show.
Yeah, dog. Who like people who passed away like in the music industry? Whose concert would you want to go
to? Recently or just
all time?
Damn, all time.
Damn.
Hip hop, R&B.
Like I said, Mac, Nip.
I want to see.
I would want to see Prince.
Prince, Michael Jackson, Tupac.
Hell yeah. Damn, I'm trying to think. My guy, Speaker Knockers, RP, Lil Snoop. Yeah, that's all I can think of right now.
Real talk, I think right now, my lineup would be. I want to see Aaliyah. Mac, ODB, and I think those my three. Like I want to see them perform.
Why ODB? Just because how much of a character he was?
Yeah, I was listening to his shit earlier this week. I was at. Just like he was just different, like just a different mind. Like he didn't give a fuck about nothing.
I used to rock with ODB heavy,
bro. He's just different, bro. Like he just like bust out saying,
yeah,
like,
bro. That Wu-Tang series does a good job of whoever the dude that plays him does a great job.
That's his son.
Nah, not in the Wu-Tang series.
That's not his son, ODB Jr.
That's not his son, bro.
Google it, bro.
Bro, I'll Google it right now.
Google it right now, bro.
Y'all keep talking.
Yeah, bro. It's like, he's just like a different type of human. Like one of those rare people. Yeah. Like you just like
didn't care.
Like how is your brain working right now?
Right.
And he's just like one of those people I really wanted to see.
Yeah. R.I.P. to him.
Yeah, like people like Tupac and like Prince and like Nip. I wouldn't necessarily want to see them perform, but like I would want to sit down and talk to them.
Damn,
in like an intimate setting, like I feel like I would want to pick their brain to see like who are you as a person type shit. Like,
right.
My fan, like I was like when I got to college, I want to say I was listening to Tupac interviews. Like I watched every Tupac interview ever.
Same.
But I couldn't before I even listened to any albums full.
Same.
You know,
that's why I didn't watch the movie, because I knew it would make me mad.
Yeah, I was just like,
yo, I was telling him and David one day, I've never listened to a Tupac album. But I watched every Tupac interview and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like I was more intrigued and interested in him as a person and like his morals and beliefs and shit than the actual music.
His music is fire.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna listen to it one day. I just wanted to say that on the pod.
No, that's real.
Because one day I'm gonna just listen to the whole discography and I'm gonna come back and give like my take on it.
Nah, that's real.
But so TJ Adams is who played ODB in the Wu-Tang Saga. I don't know if that's his son or not. It doesn't give any information.
What do he look like? Turn it.
Cause his son, like the ODB Jr., he looked way older than this. Because he was on one of those like reality shows my mom used to watch.
Bro, that's not.
Bro, that's not him.
Type in ODB Jr. Yeah. Nah, but like I want to say he Wu-Tang went on a tour.
Nah.
Wu-Tang went on a tour and they had his son. They brought his son on tour with them to do like lines and do his verses.
That's what's up.
Yeah, because I think he was there when they were out at Rolling Loud.
Yeah, I believe it.
So yeah, I would put this for Mac. I would definitely put it in my top 4. So I would go Faces, movies with the sound off, and maybe Blue Slide Park. Yeah.
I didn't really like Blue Slide. I'll put Swimming over
Blue Slide Park. But Blue Slide Park was like the one where he stamped his, basically on his debut album, bro, he stamped his legacy in the game. Because he was the first, I believe he was the first independent artist to debut, for his debut album to debut at #1 on the Billboard 200 since like 96. And I think he was the first solo artist, because the one that did in 96 was whatchamacallit, Snoop Dogg and them Dog Pound album. So that was a compilation joint.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna listen to it more. It was just like, damn.
Yeah.
It's so bittersweet when you're listening to it, because the music is fire, but you're just thinking about shit more. You're like, damn.
Word. Yeah, man. Mac was the boy. R.I.P. Mac, man.
Thanks.
R.I.P. Mac. We are able to listen to anything else over the...
Oh, I definitely listened to that deluxe version of the Revenge of the Dreamers.
Yeah,
you already know that.
That shit, yeah.
I definitely had to bump that. What'd you think of that?
It had a different vibe, but I liked it.
Yeah.
You know, it was just like, it was, I don't say it was better.
I was
like,
I don't know, man.
But it's like, it's not the, I don't say like a more mainstream sound. Like
no,
I'm saying like the first one. The first one had more mainstream sound, and this one was more like people who genuinely like Dreamville and music. Mm-hmm. Like they probably will fuck with this a little bit.
What I liked about this one a lot more was they had Kaz on a lot of tracks, and I'm a big Kaz fan. Like after Cole, Kaz is my favorite member of Dreamville.
For like everybody.
Yeah, I don't think that because I think after Cole, I think JID is clear and cut the next best. Yeah. Like he's the next one to blow. But just as far as like relatability, I feel like I relate to Kaz the most. That's and right. So I interact with his music more, I would say.
Yeah, I say like I was a big Earth Gang fan. And like JID before they signed to Dreamville, so it's like that's a no-brainer for me.
Yeah, I didn't know about either of them until they got to Dreamville.
Same. Yeah, they came to Buffalo in like 2014 or 13.
Bird.
Hell yeah, I was there after they opened up for Ab-Soul.
Because they all came up with like them and Black all came up together like in the same.
Word?
Yeah, in Atlanta.
No, Spillage Village. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was also in Spillage Village. Well,
Did you listen to it first?
Yeah.
What do you think of it?
So JID is you think he's the next to blow? Like as far as Cole popularity?
I think it's obvious.
out of Dreamville, he's clear. Like,
I think he's obvious.
Wait, is this just a rumor or is what's his name on Dreamville? Baby Heen? Is he on?
Nah. I thought originally he was on TDE.
That's what I meant. Is he on TDE? He's not.
Nah, Nelson said he wasn't.
Get support from him. Because they're Kendrick's old manager.
I gotta re-listen to JID though.
Yo, listen to his DiCaprio 2, I think it is. That came out the year before the Dreamville album, Revenge of the Dreamers 3. And that was a great body of work. You might not like it because it's hosted by DJ Drama. I know you don't rock with Drama like that. Free Uzi. But yeah, it had Ari a lot more on this one. Yeah. She was on like 3 or 4 tracks. I like that.
Reason snapped on that shit.
Reason. Yeah, and that's another thing. Reason and Cause, that Lambo truck track, I think that might be my favorite track on the regular version. Like without the deluxe songs.
Track 3?
Yeah, that was on the original one.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but like Dreamville, they be bringing the best out of Reason because he be snapping.
Every verse he had, he snapped. I think what he had 3. I think he was on 3 songs throughout the whole thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was definitely snapping. They had Guap Dad a lot on there, Buddy. So it's me no Saba. So they kind of kept the same features on the deluxe version. They didn't really add anybody new, I think. Yeah. Maybe I think it might have been like 1 or 2 people. But other than that, they kept the same group of features and artists that they work with. Yeah. It's a similar sound, but more hip hoppy, I would say.
Yeah. I had I don't say a slower pace, but it was just like, it was just less, I don't say marketable. It was just like good music. Like
it was like the album cuts.
Yeah,
like
it was
the B-side joints.
Yeah,
B-side joints.
Yeah, like I like that. Like, I don't even know which one of these you're trying to make the single. Like other ones, like okay, I know you're trying to push this one. I know you're going for this type of sound. This shit was just like, nah, we ain't here making good music. Like I always rock with that.
I wonder what I really want, bro. Cause they worked with a lot of people over this process. I'm waiting for them other tracks that's gonna come out on different people's projects, like a Bass project, a Kaz project, Cole's next project. Whatever Ari, I'm sure Ari got another project coming. Probably not this year.
Coming out?
I don't know. I just know it's 2020. The fall off. Vote for Cole. You gonna vote for Cole, bro? 2020? Bet. I heard you was voting for Roddy.
I don't vote.
I mean, Roddy said he a 2020 president candidate,
what about
man.
Kanye?
If it's between Cole and Kanye, I'm voting for Cole.
Yeah.
If it's out of Kanye and Trump, I'll vote for Kanye.
No, real talk. I'll probably vote for Kanye.
Yeah.
I'll vote for Kanye just because I want to see Cole in the suit.
True. My man's Cole not gonna be in a suit though, bruh. My man's Cole is pulling up in a Charlotte Hornets jersey with the basketball shorts and some ones, man.
Does he really want to run?
I don't know.
I want to see Kanye win that shit and really just be in the White House wilding out. He had that motherfucker painted black. He'd be in there spazzing.
That's what I would do if I was the president,
He'd
bro.
be in there spazzing.
I'm paying that
Kim
shit.
would just be sitting there looking stupid.
Kim K is the first lady.
Travis gonna be all up in the White House. Like, come on.
It's gonna be Obama 2.0.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Hey man, at this point,
it's gonna be
because Obama had the whole hip hop culture in there, bro.
Yo, Kanye gonna be taking shots at Obama like crazy. Leaving notes in the White House like, take his picture down real quick.
Nah, he ain't gonna do that. You don't think Kanye fuck with Obama?
He said he don't.
Bro, I mean, he was just mad that Obama called him a jackass.
Yeah, Obama called him a jackass, and then he invited everybody else to the White What except him. So he's hot.
He did go. He ended up going.
He's hot. He's still hot. Without a doubt.
What else? I feel like it was other stuff that came out this weekend. So you got Revenge of the Dreamers, John.
Eminem came out this week.
I didn't listen to that.
I heard the intro. It was after that. He was rapping good.
I heard he had a song with Juice WRLD on there.
Yeah, I ain't listened to it. I don't listen to Eminem. I'll be checking for that nigga.
So my man's y'all rock with Stunning for Vegas? Nah.
I
signed to $1 billion Baby Entertainment.
I thought about listening to it, but I was just like, I ain't had the time.
Nah, it's alright. I mean, it's.
I'm gonna check him out because I keep hearing the name.
Yeah, I like the cover art a lot. That's really what gravitated me towards it.
I saw it looked funny as hell. Like the white butler.
Yeah, because it's called Rich Youngin, and he just like a rich youngin, and he's getting served by the white people. The butlers, because normally it's the opposite.
Yeah,
so I watched the cover. Yeah. 070 Shape dropped something. I didn't listen to it yet.
That was fire. I gotta listen.
Yeah, I'm probably listen to it tonight. To be honest.
Yeah, I gotta throw that in the group chat so I can see that shit.
Facts. And Moneybag. Well, he didn't drop this weekend. He dropped last weekend, but I've been listening to that a lot too.
Yeah, I gotta get that a few more plays.
So what I want to transition into, I was going to transition into this after I said the whole Blue Slide Park thing, Mac being first independent and all that, but
hold on a tangent. Before you jump on that, did I see the Janae Aiko song that dropped?
I seen it, but I didn't listen to it. How was it?
That shit is right.
Yo, it was mad girls on Twitter saying that joint was trash though. They were saying, oh, she reaching, she doing the most. They was like, the dick can't be that bomb.
They were mad.
So I was like, shit.
They were mad because they not getting good dick. You too busy tweeting.
Nah, I'm gonna give it a listen though. What is it called though? Isn't it called like Pussy Fairy or some shit like that?
Pussy Fairy.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if this for me.
got me at the title. I'm like, I'm listening. You got my ear. I seen the video. I seen the clips of the video on IG. I'm like, okay.
Oh yeah, the video. Yeah, the video looked kind of corny to me.
It did a little bit, but it's like I don't know. I like when she get her little her sensual bag.
I want her to just drop an album, bro.
Yeah, her album will be fire.
Cause I'm gonna be bumping that joint for like 2 weeks straight.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Janae. But alright, so K Camp has had some controversy lately with his record label Interscope. So if you're a K Camp fan, everybody's been waiting for him to drop Kiss 5. He dropped Way Too Critical, I think, last year sometime. Mm-hmm. And his Lottery song, which is his most streamed song from that project, has been getting a lot of buzz, blowing up. Yeah. So I'm just go ahead and read the tweet. He said, I'm tired of the bullshit. I got over 100 million streams on Lottery, 15 million plus TikTok videos with no major label support, just me and my team at Interscope. He added them. If you're not going to support my shit, let me go. Been putting my own money up for years. At this point, y'all playing with me. K Camp, January 14th, 2020, quote, unquote. So what are y'all thoughts on that, the label situation with K Camp?
Real talk, I seen when he dropped, because I remember I was asking him, yo, where K Camp at? He made some good music. So
he dropped the single like a month ago. That's tough. The Ice Cold joint, I think it's called.
I remember when he first dropped Lottery. That was a few months ago. And I'm like, yo, this shit hard.
Yeah, that was earlier in the year, I think.
Yeah, bro.
Because that whole project is tough. I still bumped that, the Way Too Critical project.
I'm like, yo, this is hard. I'm like, he not signed. I was like, he must be independent because I ain't hearing nothing about this joint. I'm like, this shit is hard. And it's like, I'm not surprised that it caught, but it caught maybe however many months later. Mm-hmm. But it shouldn't have. It's no reason that should have took that long to catch. But it's like, I don't know. I don't even know why they wouldn't support that, because that shit could have got.
And the thing is, I feel like they see that because he's been saying for a while that the label hasn't been supporting him. I say for like a year or two, maybe. Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that they really haven't been pushing and supporting his stuff. Because I wasn't even knowing about because he dropped Way Too Critical, and I think before that he dropped Rare Sound 2, which is kind of like his label or click or whatever. And I didn't even know about those until one of my own homies was telling me about it, because he a big K Camp fan. So if it wasn't through word of mouth, I wouldn't have found out about his recent projects either.
Where he from?
He's from Atlanta. So he's in the Atlanta circle where like a lot of people rock with him. Like he's in the studio with Thug, Future, all them heavy. So he's a respected force in Atlanta.
Who on Interscope? Who on Interscope?
I know Tory Lanez is having issues.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're definitely having issues.
So that's a common thing with Interscope right now. I don't know. I can't think of off the top of my head who else is on there. I have to look it up.
Nah, just honestly, like from working at a studio and like in South Africa, I could see how an artist could get like lost in the sauce at a big record label, but it's like I really don't get how you could miss something like that though. Like I knew Lottery was gonna pop. As soon as I heard it, I'm like,
that beat's not crazy.
Yeah, the beat itself is just crazy. I'm like, oh, this is somebody they about to go off with this shit. And it's just like, I don't understand, like, I don't say how you just gotta be like so out of touch to not know.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
that's going.
Don't these labels know that all this
They really don't.
publicity is killing them?
Nah, but the
They don't care. They still.
It's really not, because I don't know, because it's like people want to be quote unquote signed.
Because that's the thing.
Yeah,
the
it's
thing,
just like,
even though there's a lot of evidence out there on why you should do your groundwork first, and then when you have the leverage, you should look into signing to a label. But a lot of people, they still just looking for the quick money, man. And then depending on their circumstances, they might need the quick money. So I'm not gonna knock that, because everybody can't play the long game. Because depending on the situation you're in at the moment, you might need that money to stop you from doing something that could cost you your freedom or anything like that. You know what I mean? But he touched on, well, I heard somebody touch on like kind of the label wasn't backing him, and then so he pretty much took it into his own hands these past couple years. It's like, all right, because he has the connections, he's been in the game for a while, he's from the Atlanta scene, he's well respected amongst all his peers and the artists, so it's kind of like, I collab with the right people, I push my stuff on my own, I got the street team, I got the buzz or the acclaim already. I can pretty much get back hot on my own, which he did. And now since they see that, they like, all right, we still not going to invest any money into you and push you, but we not going to drop you either, because
you making us money.
Yeah, you still making us money. When that makes no sense to me, because if you just push them, you can make more money.
But they have to spend money on him, correct? Isn't that the problem?
Or true. It depends on if they made their money back from his first albums. Because that's what it really come down to. It's like, did we make our money back? Because all the videos, all the studio time, you have to pay them back. Like, even if it's like if you buying houses and all that stuff too. Like, that's, if you buying labels name, then that's, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's weird because we don't necessarily know what his budget was looking like, but yeah, that's those situations are just nasty, because it's like, man, let that man go. Let that man go and let him do his, I mean, let him get his freedom, bro.
So I'm looking up, Interscope has, so I believe Interscope is in partner with Dreamville. So they have Ari Lennox on there, they have Boss. Yeah. I see they have, I think they're in partnership with, what's that? Love Renaissance. The record, the label.
Yeah, partially.
Yeah, the one that Boogie and Westside Boogie and Black and Summer Walker are all signed to. So they have a partnership with Interscope, so they're signed to Interscope. You got
TDE got partnerships with them too.
Yeah. You got the Baby on Interscope, which I'm pretty sure he's controlling his own shit, because he has his own record label. Yeah,
most people are just doing it like, I don't say like a joint venture.
Yeah, so a lot of it is they have the joint partnership with TDE, joint partnership with the Love Renaissance label, the joint partnership with Dreamville. That's a lot of their artists. Yeah. As far as their big name artists, they got Jay Critch on there, who also hasn't dropped a project in a while. So I'm gonna be looking at that. Hot take.
The issue with like big labels, like, you have a lot of competition. It's so much people. And we know how big of a year 2020 about to be. Yeah, they're not trying to put you out at the same time as because they know when Kendrick coming, they know when Cole coming.
They got a lot of heavy hitters on here. They got Ray Shrimmer, Moneybagg Yo, who it looks like they made an effort to push, because this is his biggest project thus far. He had the relationship with Meg. He's getting. I'm seeing the YouTube ads. I'm seeing him do the press runs.
Yeah. They broke up.
Yeah, they ain't been together for a couple months, I think.
Yeah, but
they got Smino on here. They got a lot of people, man.
What's nasty about it is like they know that they're signing it, and they know they're not about to release you. And it's like, if you don't as an artist, if you don't do any and everything possible to get hot in the streets, then they're not gonna release. Because I can almost guarantee the only reason why they let Moneybagg come out with his album was because all that shit with Meg.
Oh yeah, definitely.
This is great.
That definitely boosted his status. Yeah. And then they had the collab song, and then pretty much after that song released, I'll say like very shortly after, it was saying that they weren't like together anymore. So I definitely feel like, I'm not gonna say that relationship was a publicity stunt, but I definitely think Interscope had a hand in it.
I don't know.
In terms of how they started to release Moneybags music, it was like he was probably already working on the project. It's like, oh, you're with now you're in a relationship with the biggest female artist in the game. Oh, let's push your shit up. Let's give you more marketing. Let's give you more. You know what I mean? So they definitely put a lot more behind him because of that relationship.
Without a doubt. And that's the issue. It's like it's so much. It has so much to do with everything except the music.
That's the crazy part, bro.
And it's like they don't care if the music is good no more. Like you look at labels like Atlantic, like they're gonna sign Atlantic been signing like the social media influencers and shit like that. Like, oh, we'll just give you this.
Yeah, you got a lot of them.
Cut off song, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, that's pretty much what Atlanta's roster is. It's like Atlantic's roster. It's like the social media influencers and the young people that got like one hot song, and then it's like the big time artists.
Yeah, like Cardi.
Yeah, like they don't have an in between really.
Yeah, they just trying to secure their bag.
So what did y'all take on Weather? Because I think because I seen it. Nelson sent it. The fuck? Nelson sent it to me through the United Masters page. So their caption was, should artists still sign with the record label? So what do y'all think of that?
Depends on what you're trying to do. Like if you're trying to sign to a record label because you want to get rich, nah, that's not the best idea. If you
can get rich, you ain't gonna get wealthy, or you ain't gonna be rich for long.
Bruh.
It depends on what you define as rich too, personally.
Because it's like if you sign to a major for $1 million, you only really walking away with like $350.
No, yeah.
Because it's like part of like
so a third,
5% going to the lawyer.
You got the manager.
The manager might get anywhere from 15 to 20.
You got the marketing budget.
You got your team.
Studio budget.
Mm-hmm. All of that shit comes.
All that you have to pay the label back. So all you really making your money off.
They're literally just giving you a loan to make music.
Mm-hmm. And you just gonna make your money on the road.
It's
pretty
fast
much.
all over again. Fucking Sally man.
The government, man. It's all tied together, bro. That's why I be telling my mom I don't fuck with the government, bro. If I could find some way in my life to live government free and never have to deal with them, I need to figure that shit out.
Good fucking luck.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna have to move to like an island or some shit.
Shit. Fuck with the crypto. That's about it. Fucking. I'm like, what the issue is like it's the three major like music companies like Warner, Sony, and Universal. So it's like everything is under those three, and then all the publishing is under Universal. So it's just like
who's on Universal?
Everybody.
Yeah.
Interscope.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like it's the three main branches, then the record labels are under them, and then there's other ones under them.
And then it's like
a family tree type shit.
Yeah, and that's just Interscope is just the New York or the North American version, and then you got all the other like people they sign around the world, and it's just you think you got a choice. You know what I mean? I forgot somebody was talking about it. I was talking about like Wale ended his deal with the one record label and went to another one, but it was just like, fam, he's still under.
Yo, that's why I wasn't understanding about his situation. Like, if you're stressing so much about how the record label isn't letting you do this, they're holding you back and everything, why would you just go to another record label right away? My thing is, even if you eventually go to another record label, at least try the independent route or do it on your own for a little bit, just to see like,
if you can.
Yeah, if this is built for me, if this is really what I want.
Yeah, honestly,
don't go straight from one situation to another. That's like people in relationships going straight from one relationship to another.
Yeah, and a big issue is like most people don't understand. It's like, and people in the labels be sitting on their ass all day, not doing shit.
Looking at the analytics.
Bro.
That's all they care about, bro. They don't care about the music.
They're not even doing, bro. I'm telling you right now, they're not even doing that, bro. I was there.
On the analytics,
they're not even doing that. They're literally sitting there they're like, okay, we know they might call a photographer. They may set up a shoot. Nigga, you can do that same thing. The photographer is gonna meet with you. You can call him and be like, yo, meet me here, blah, 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 and set it up yourself. It's like it's really just like, do you want to do it? Like, do you have the discipline enough to like, yo, okay, let me make these phone calls myself instead of like having somebody else do it for me. And which is like as I get older, like I remember I used to be like, look at the Rockefeller situation and I'm just like, why is Dame tripping like that? And I get older, I see why. Like, we doing everything ourselves, and like you coming in just to stand next to us, take pictures, and now it look like you popping. Fuck that, get out of here. Like,
Dame is one of those people where like I agree with a lot of the shit he says, but I disagree with a lot of the shit he says. Like, he's one of those people where I gotta. It really just depends.
Yeah.
It honestly depends on who he's talking to too, on how well he articulates himself in it. Because he's one of those people that he lets his emotions get the best of him too. So he may be making a good point, but then you can't really digest it properly or really hear what he's saying because he's just fucking screaming the whole time and dogging the other person that he's having a conversation with.
Yeah, I agree with his like moral compass and like what he stands for.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't always agree with how he goes about.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to.
You ain't always gotta show. To me, it's like you ain't always gotta show your cards. You know what I'm saying? Because he gonna come in and say, "No, we doing this, da da da. I don't fuck with you because this didn't." I'm like, nah, bro, you don't.
Yeah.
You ain't gotta show him your cards, like. But no, I mean, he move how he move, and I respect it. I respect it regardless.
So, what's your take on the whole record label thing, Dion?
I mean, like you said, it depends on every person's situation. If they're in a situation where they need money quick, then maybe that's for them. Like Nelson was saying, if you have a long-term goal in mind, nah, because you don't want to put yourself in a situation where we're reading about where you're stuck and you can't do certain things. I always want to be in a spot where I'm just able to do whatever I feel like doing.
Yeah.
And I have to ask somebody.
You want to control your own fate.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was one thing I always noticed was like, it's a reoccurring theme. Like, it's always an artist who's like, yo, fuck these niggas, I can't stand these. And we never get enough information to be like, well, why is he really tripping? Like, da da da. I remember like the first time I witnessed it was like Lupe, I want to say. When they were really beefing with the label.
Before Lasers.
Yeah, and it was just like...
Lasers, man.
I was like, yo, why is he going through this? And it was just like, as I understood, like, older, it's just like, okay, he want to be in control of his art, and they're trying to tell him no.
I think a lot of artists go through this, but it's just that certain ones are gonna stand on their own too and be 10 toes down and be like, yo, I'm not what's the word I'm looking for? Contemplating. No, I'm not gonna compromise my art because of some shit y'all want me to do. So it's like they're in this fight with the label, whereas others, they kind of give in.
Yeah.
And like the older I get or the more I get into them, like learning about the music business, I start to hear that in the music. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like you can tell when the artist's sound change unwillingly. Mm-hmm. So that all goes back to your legacy. Like, what do you want your legacy to be? Do you want it to be controlled by somebody else? Do you want other people in suits who don't really know the art or the craft dictate how you're gonna be seen 20 years from now when people look back at your catalog? You know?
Yeah, a lot of them dudes don't be knowing shit, bro. They know other people in the industry who are able to push buttons.
They got connections and they got degrees. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much it. Not for all of them, but a lot of them.
Yeah, bro. They know certain people you don't, and they can push certain buttons where you'll get popping quicker. Or it's just like, the question is, are you willing to put in that groundwork? And like, that's why I look at people like, labels like Griselda and seeing how they did it. It was like, yo, they did the groundwork in an era where everybody's looking for the quick fix, the social medias, the streaming numbers. And I'm like, no, them niggas did it on the ground. And that's something like,
Buffalo kids, man.
Yeah, that's something people need to really like pay attention to. Like, you never heard them complain about not being able to release music. West and them release music whenever they want. They drop merch whenever they want.
Even with the Machine Gun project, people were concerned that the album wouldn't be as raw or as dirty and grimy as their solo projects are because it's their first Shady label debut. But then Wes was saying, like, do y'all really think I would have signed with a label if I didn't know that we can keep our same sound and do what I want? Like, everything is calculated. You got to know these things going into it.
And it's just like you got to be able to trust yourself and just like trusting your art. Like how to me it always comes down to how much is it really about the art? Because if you're willing to compromise it, then you just gonna fall right in the boat with everybody else.
Then you gotta just accept how things play out for you.
Yeah, like yo,
because you had the chance to prevent those things, but you chose to take what some people would say the easy way.
Just never compromise your art, because it speaks volumes. Like it's people like when you compromise your shit, that's when you get the Tekashi 6ix9ines. That's when you get the train wrecks. That's when you doing whatever to get hot. You trying to live in that moment.
Yeah,
and it's like it's not real.
And then eventually, when things come full circle, you gonna realize that like, yo, you should have done things a different way. You know what I mean?
Word.
Oh, that's one thing I want to say about that Mac album too. It seemed like, this is going back, but it seemed like he was really at like an introspective point in his life too when he made this. Like, he wasn't completely over his demons, it seemed like, but he was definitely at the point where he was starting to realize things that were going on, or he was starting to realize the mistakes he made, or like he was at a point of self-reflection, really.
Word.
And that's really like, I think that's really the step before when you start to overcome those things. It's acknowledging them and realizing them.
Yeah.
So I feel like if he could have been here, if he would just been able to have been here a little bit longer, he would have overcame a lot of the stuff, bro.
Word.
And that's the sad part.
And it's just like, I feel like that's part of like, that's just naturally part of growth. Yeah. But it's just like, he took such a long time. He stepped away from music for so long. That's what made it.
Or stepped away from releasing music.
Yeah. He stepped away from like the industry for so long, where it was just like he had. I feel like with all that time, you have to like talk about. He didn't go outside. Like he wasn't like one of those. He wasn't one of those artists, and it's like that's what people loved about him, because it's like if you look at the music industry and you let them tell the story, everybody just want a club record. Right. Want to bob their head as hard as possible for the next 2.5 minutes. Like,
and that's why I really appreciate artists like him, that when they're going through things, they express it in the music. So it's like you going through it with them. That's why a loss of an artist like that is like so hard of a pill to swallow, because you kind of from his show, from the music, how he laid everything out on the line. It was like you knew what he was going through, and you're not gonna say you seen it coming, but you see how it happened.
Yeah. It wasn't a shock.
Yeah, but definitely R.I.P. to my guy Mac, man, a legend. We gonna get a Mac poster up here soon. That was my plan, to have a Mac jam, so we gonna get that soon.
Yeah, and his independent grind going.
Oh yeah, that's why you gonna have a poster up here, bro.
For sure.
Mac, we gotta get a whole one too. I think that'll complete it.
Jay-Z.
Gotta get sold, bro.
Hov, Mac, Master P, Nip, Jay Prince. No Label the Pod, episode 8. Y'all fellas got anything to close out with?
Man, don't compromise your art, man.
Facts.
That's my biggest thing. Is it's like, yo, it's not bad to sign a deal. It's not bad to sign a major label, but like, make sure you go in there with enough leverage where you don't have to compromise what you truly want to do.
Facts.
Because that shit don't push nothing forward. It's just we gonna be in this same bullshit. Like, you look at all the artists who've ever like had any issues. You could go on the list for days. Like man, try to do independent. See, at least try to do it independent first.
Yeah, especially in the beginning.
Yeah.
Don't just sign right away because you got to hit. Like I said, unless you need the money, because depending on the circumstances, you might need that right then and there, and it might be your only ticket to, feed your family or stay alive type shit.
And then if you do that route that he's talking about, then you just got to know that you just got to keep working on your crafting, not worry about none of the other stuff they're going to try to make you do as far as being hot and going viral. You just got to focus on your music. So that's the only way you really going to gain followers, is just to keep working on you and get better.
Yeah. Do your Googles. if you rapping just so you can be cool, stop rapping.
Right.
And everybody should, if you plan on making music, enroll in YouTube University, man.
Facts.
You're gonna learn everything you need to know. Well, not everything, but you're gonna learn a lot.
Facts.
No Label the Pod, episode 8. We out.
Peace.
She watching me like a nigga is cable. I'll be on no label, but my clothes be all labels. Don't call my phone if you ain't talking about the paper. Told her I would call her later, never called her later.